Welcome to the jungle in Los Angeles. I am Jim Rome. Nice to be back. Good to have you with us. If you know what you want to talk about, go ahead and start dialing right now. Your telephone number, of course, is paid for. All I need in return is a take that does not suck. Go ahead and start dialing right now. That phone number is 1-800-636-8686. 1-800-636-8686. I've been gone since the end of last week, so if there's something you want to cover with me, go ahead and start dialing right now. I've got a whole lot to get to you, but if you know what you want to talk about, go ahead and bust me a telephone call. If you want to send me an email, you can do that too. The email address is Jim Rome. My last name, Rome, is spelled R-O-M-E. Jim Rome at netzero.com. Here are the interviews that we have for you in hour number one, bottom of the hour, in fact. New York Giants running back Tiki Barber will be joining us. Get his thoughts on the quarterback situation there. We'll talk about life under Tom Coughlin. Tiki Barber at the bottom of hour number one. In hour number two, we'll talk some NASCAR. Rookie Casey Kane joins us. He's had an excellent rookie season. You know me, I'm all about NASCAR. Another NASCAR driver coming on. Also in the second hour, we're going to make a run at Brian Dawkins, safety for the Philadelphia Eagles. So three good interviews, Brian Dawkins, Casey Kane, and Tiki Barber. You know that every telephone call that actually makes it on air ends up on tape, so we can document everything you've ever said. The reason we do that is not so much for that reason, but to get you to compete with one another for the honor of huge call today. And once you've won that, I mean, basically your life is set. After that, what is there? For those of you who don't want to call and you'd rather send me an email, we have an email contest also in the third hour. All right, that's pretty much how the program goes, but by now you know that. Let me get you started. Let me start with some baseball today. George Steinbrenner is worried, and he should be. He called his inner circle to Tampa for meetings, as the Yanks are not playing well. Look out. Those Tampa roundtables never end well for the guys up in New York. Now, you hate to ever say that the Red Sox have a better chance than the Yankees because, well, they're the Red Sox, and the other guys are the Yankees. And no, I don't think that Boston is going to run New York down, but if the Sox do get in and they hook up, if you were to ask me today, I'd take Boston. I would take my chances with Peter and Kurt Schilling over, well, whoever the hell the Yankees have left to run out there. Hell yes, they're having meetings in Tampa, and I guarantee that George Steinbrenner is chewing some big league ass over their inability to land Randy Johnson. I'm sure that Brian Cashman hasn't aged more than 20 years in the last 20 days. Before beating Seatown, who I'll get to in a minute, last night the Yankees had lost 3 straight, 6 of 7, and they saw their lead over Boston shrink to just 5.5 games. Meanwhile, here in Los Angeles, big question in and around town, what is the matter with Eric Gagne? He gave up the go-ahead run 3 straight times last week. He allowed 9 hits, 6 runs in 3 innings. That he was on the mound Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. He also threw 69 pitches. Fact of the matter is, he's just not the same guy that he was before. He's not the same guy since he pitched those 3 innings against the Padres in that first game after the trade. His manager, Jim Tracy, says that he is that guy, but he's not. I mean, look at him. Other Dodger news. The team is finally acknowledging that Brad Penny is not going to rejoin them in the rotation until well into September. Of course not. Anybody who saw that guy come off the mound in as much agony as he did knew that he was not going to go for quite some time. Did you see how much pain the man was in? Hell yes, he's going to miss some time. Oh, no, he's going to miss just 1 start. Yeah, right. Sure he was. This was not a guy with a slight twinge. He looked like a guy who got shot in the arm. The second he got that injury, anybody who has ever watched, played, or even listened to a baseball game knew that he was done for a very long time. If a guy who goes about 6'5", 250 goes running off the mound screaming, he's probably hurt. He's probably going to miss more than 1 start. And we're not dealing with Ishmael Valdez here. Penny is hurt. Of course he's going to be out. Back to the Indians. From 1 game out to 8 games out in a little over a week. That's not easy to do. Their manager, Eric Wedge, he's trying to keep his guys straight. Quote, it's tough. We have to stay strong as individuals and stay strong as a team. You can't let a bad day or a bad week defeat you. End of quote. Unless, of course, you give back 7 games in that week, then you can. I mean, the man's right. No single week can undo 9 months worth of hard work. Except, of course, that week. Nice knowing you. Karma. 1-800-636-8686 is your telephone number. Let's move on to the Olympics, where there's a lot to talk about, starting with Team USA. Sean Marion, among many others, of course, but Marion was complaining that basically nobody wants the Americans to win. Quote, we got nobody on our side. Referees, fans, reporters, Nobody. End of quote. Well, Sean, one, the team's not likable. You haven't given anybody any reason to get with you. Number two, I don't know if you've been paying attention lately or if you're aware of what's going on around you globally, but anti-American sentiment is at an all-time high. What the hell did you expect when you got there? The coaches tried telling you that, but you didn't really want to listen. And it's not just the fans there. Fans back home want the Americans to lose. That's something I've been talking about on this show now for several weeks. Anti-American sentiment is at an all-time high, both abroad and here. Well, at least anti-Dream Team sentiment is at an all-time high here. Don Nelson Jr., who's got a lot of experience coaching on the international scene, I think put it best. When asked why the Americans are struggling, he said, quote, look, everyone on that U.S. team is the man on their NBA roster. They're not used to setting screens, doing the dirty work. They're used to being the recipients of that stuff, end quote. Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what it is. They don't play a team game because they're not team guys. They're not willing to get dirty. They're not doing the little things that you need to do to win games. They're all used to the other guy doing it for them. Problem is, there is no other guy on this team. And if you can't get these guys to do it, then you've got to get real role guys who will. And they don't have that either. Other Olympic news. Let's talk about that controversy involving gymnast Paul Hume. Bro, it's not your gold. Give it back. And I don't really care how this thing plays out. The guy didn't win the gold. He knows it. We know it. Give it back. He may as well, because nobody back here is going to treat you like you won it. Give the gold medal to Yang Tae-young. It belongs to him. Keep in mind, and the reason I make this point, the controversy is not a subjective one. It was not an error in judgment. It was a math error. That's the key point. It's not a subjective error. It's not an error in judgment. It's a math error. There is no debating who won the competition. You're arguing a clerical point. It's not your medal, Hom. Give it back. A number of emailers yesterday sent my man Skip Bayless emails saying, yeah, well, this is payback for Roy Jones in the Olympics. Screw you, South Korea. It's sort of amusing, but again, the difference is Jones was a victim of a bad decision. That was subjective. This is not. This guy's going to be walking around wearing a gold medal that does not belong to him. It's not his. Yeah, I know. Rules are rules, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just so blatant. The guy didn't win. Give it back. I mean, how would you feel good about it anyway? Talk some football, too. This is tremendous. Buffalo Bills running back Willis McGahee, according to the Associated Press, asked that he be traded if he does not get to start. The team says that's not true. Of course, the team keeps saying that it doesn't have a running back controversy. Willis McGahee wanting a trade if he doesn't start? Loquacious as he may be, how the hell do you make a request like that when you haven't played a single down in the NFL? You're playing behind a guy who went back-to-back 1,300 yards. You're coming off a catastrophic leg injury. You haven't proven to anybody in the NFL that you can play yet, but if they don't just hand you the starting job, you want to trade. Anything else we can do for you, Willis? How very team of you. Yeah, I hope that that's not true. It's pretty incredible. I've got plenty more NFL to get to. How about Adrian Beltre, MVP? Johan Santana is filthy. That guy's probably your Cy Young. I know. Don't forget about Mark Moda. Don't forget about Johan Santana. How about a school bus driver getting a DUI? I said a school bus driver getting a DUI. Is that bad? Shane Spencer hooked up with the Yanks and cracked back on the Mets. Bro, sober up and stop cracking the Mets. KJ Choi got screwed out of a potential winner of the PGA Championship. All of that plus an interview with Tiki Barber at the bottom of the hour. Casey Kane and Brian Dawkins next hour. In the meantime, here's your cell phone number. 1-800. I'm Dawkins as well. I'm getting a lot of emails and phone calls on Paul Hume. He may not agree with my take. My feeling is that was not an error in judgment. It was not subjective. Dude, it was mathematical. You're getting over. It's not your medal. Give it back. I mean, yeah, you can hide behind this, a rule is a rule. You didn't get your protest in early enough. But how do you not look in the mirror and not know that you didn't win that gold medal? Why do you even want it? You're going to get it on a clerical error? Come on. Dear Jim, lay off Paul Hume already. Just because he won an important contest because of a judge's error doesn't mean that he should give back that title. Sincerely, George W. Bush. Mike in the district. Dear Jim, Possession or not, I repeat, not, or possession is not, I repeat, not 9/10 of the law. Hume didn't earn the gold, and therefore he only possesses the medal. Instead of showing the world another ugly American, he should stand tall and with dignity and turn it over. Give it to the guy who earned it. His stock will rise higher than ever before, and it's the right thing to do. Lou from Providence. I have to say I agree with that, too. I mean, nothing says ugly American like, you're screwed, you didn't get your protest in on time, sorry. Believe me, if it were the other way around, we would be going berserk. We would be going berserk. Let me lay this out for you. A lot of controversy coming out of the men's gymnastics competition. Again, people have finally started showing up at the events because you saw last night they spent a good portion of the evening booing the judges. Let me start with Paul Hume. He became the first American gymnast to win the all-around title in about 1 million years late last week. You probably saw that. He rallied from 12th. And he came all the way back to win the gold medal. Sort of. He was awarded the gold, but South Korean gymnast Yang Tae-young actually finished higher. Follow me on this in case you do not know the controversy. Young's routine on the parallel bars was scored using a degree of difficulty of 9.9. It should have been judged on a 10.0 degree of difficulty. Using the 9.9, he finished in third with the bronze medal. Using the 10, which is what the judges should have done, he wins the gold medal. According to the South Koreans, they were denied an opportunity to ask about the score at the time that it went down. FIG, the gymnastics governing body, says that they did not inquire until it was too late, and that because of that, Hume is still the gold medal winner. So again, what we have here basically is a math error. He performed a routine valued at 10.0 in degree of difficulty. That's not a subjective issue. That's a fact. Everybody agrees on that. It was just scored incorrectly because the number 9.9 was used. That's a math mistake. He won the gold medal. He outperformed Hume. He had a higher score than Hume. Now, Hume may have gotten to stand up there and put it around his neck, but he didn't win it. He didn't earn it. Young did. FIG says that there's nothing they can do and that the matter's closed. And Hume is not handling this all that well. Quote, I'm not planning to give away my all-around medal, but if the governing body decides that, then I will. Quote, unquote. Look, bro, you did not win. Believe me, if the tables were turned, you would want him to give the medal that you earned. He beat you. Deal with it.